Try and find some words to describe that for us.
Well, very frustrating and totally disappointing. If we're going to be honest and we try and assess it, we didn't do enough to win the match. And that's the disappointing thing for me at home. We didn't create enough. We didn't really have any composure finally in the last third to take that extra touch and make care of the pass. And it became more and more frustrating as the game went on. And certainly we didn't deserve to lose. You know, I can't remember my goalkeeper having a touch of the ball, let alone make a save. But we haven't done enough at their end of the pitch either. And that's the disappointing thing to me, where people have come and packed the defence and we haven't had enough quality, enough nous and a bit of know-how to break it through.
Yeah, can you put your finger on why? Because it was a flat performance as well. It was a very flat afternoon.
Yeah, it was a difficult afternoon, it really was. And the harder we tried, the more difficult it became. And you have to say sometimes we haven't played well. You know, I can come here and say we've played well over the last few weeks. We had a disappointing performance last week, 2 weeks ago at Southampton, and today's really disappointing. But we haven't played well. It sometimes happens. You have to accept it and move on and get over it, and get over it quickly, because we all know that the Premier League is unforgiving.
Does this one hurt more though, given that it was a bottom club and they haven't picked up anything up?
If we had took a point, we'd have been sitting level 10th here today. You know, and you know, with 12, 13 games gone, 15 points would have been okay. We haven't played well. Let's not get beat, and that was the key thing for me today. The disappointment of just okay, we haven't played well. Take a draw, and we'll move on.
To make it worse, they go down to 10 men, but then they score.
Well, they score 30 seconds later, which
had your team switched off? Or?
Probably. Well, it was all throw in, but I can't keep criticising the defenders. If you could say El Mohammadi was out the wrong position, Mino got beat, Rossini missed kicks it, but we can't keep relying on the defenders to keep a clean sheet week in and week out. They have to have some sort of respite where we can create something.
You took Robbie Brady off at half-time. Was that a tactical thing, or is that injury still a problem, Steve?
Well, he's still not right himself. I don't think he's right himself. He still doesn't look right, whether that's his injury or what have you. But we've now been messing around with it now for 4 weeks, and you know, I can only go what I see all week. He's trained well. I put him up today, but something wasn't right with him, and I thought we needed an extra physical presence up there, and to get it up to the front and run a little bit more quicker than what we were doing, because let's be fair, in the first half their goalkeeper hasn't had a shot to save. So we tried that way and put Danny Graham up with Sagbo and went to traditional 4-4-2. Whatever we done today, you know, it didn't seem to work. It was one of them horrible days when our forward players didn't play well enough.
So what do you do with Robbie then to try and get to the bottom of this?
Well, he has to. I think physically wise he's fine. He's fine. He tells me he's fine, but he's got to get over the injury. It's the first time he's had an injury in his young career, you know. So he has to get over it, and it's a shame, because he started off the season fantastically well. But we'll get him back. It's a bit of time, and you know, he's feeling a little bit sorry for himself at the minute. We have to make sure he gets right and starts playing again when we know he's capable of.
Paul McShane had to come off. What's the story?
Yeah, he's got a hamstring, unfortunately.
Right,
got a hamstring.
And how much of a worry is that?
Well, it's a worry because, you know, I thought Paul was easily our best player by a million miles. You know, he set the agenda for us right at the start, but he's picked up, unfortunately, a hamstring injury, which I would have thought would rule him out for the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Any other injuries out of today that would worry you?
No, I don't think so.
How damaging is this, given that they were bottom and
well, listen,
and
the one thing, we're disappointed that we haven't played well and picked up a point. The one thing about the Premier League is it's so tight from top to bottom, and you're going to come times when it becomes difficult. And we've had a difficult couple of weeks. It's now where we earn more money. To dust ourselves down, we've got a big, huge game against Liverpool, one of the top teams in the division at the minute, coming next week. So we'll all have to be in it and play well again, and go back to basics.
What do you do with them? Did you get tucked into them today, or will you get tucked into them this week, Steve? It's two separate questions.
I think always what I say to them in dressing rooms will always remain in a dressing room.
But the tone of it.
But they know. I think they know themselves, and myself. I ain't happy with a performance like that, because all week we practice on passing it and playing and making sure we look after the ball. And today we give it away so cheaply and look nervous and edgy. For whatever reason, I do not know. But we'll certainly go back to the basics of what made us a good team. and why we were in the position we're in. We've had a difficult couple of weeks. We must dust ourselves down and get back to it again.
Is there a few then that have to provide a few answers for you in training this week?
Well, I mean, we've done fantastically well.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of plaudits and a lot of pat in the back. We've now gone back-to-back defeats and we've lost to one at home. We must dust ourselves down and respond, and we'll have to play well next week if we're going to get anything, because Liverpool are a very, very good side. So we've got Liverpool coming, a big week to prepare for it. Let's go and play better than what we did today, and we will, because I can't see us playing any worse than that.